What's wrong with my face? I don't like seeing my chin. Good morning. Is there nobody? Because nobody's here. Is it bad to try and do a live stream on Super Bowl day then? Is that what I'm getting? Or is it because I shaved my beard? Wow, we've got a fat resounding 0 right now. That hasn't happened in a while. And there it is. Is anybody there? Anybody at all? Good morning. Who's there? No one. It says there's people here, but nobody's here. Where is everyone? What the hey? I shaved my beard and I look weird. And now I'm left in this awkward silence, acknowledging that. And I regret it. There we go. Well, cool story, guys. Nobody's here. Nobody's in the chat. Everybody's just sleeping in, getting ready for the Super Bowl, I'm assuming. Fair enough. Carpet Fest is next weekend. And if any of you have been following what the goal for Carpet Fest, their auction, they're trying to raise $20,000 for nidovirus research, and it's looking like they're about to hit that, and their new goal is $24,000. Carpet Fest t-shirts have been going out for a little bit, so people have been posting getting those. So if you've got your shirt, share it, show it up. Be part of the community and be proud. Gosh, I gotta fix that cage. Yeah, Carpet Fest is going off. It's getting started soon. That's coming up this weekend. Oh, there it is. My chat thing was all weird. Yeah, good morning, everyone. Yeah, I shaved. I don't know why. I was gonna trim the beard, and I was gonna just keep it like short and let it go out. The lady likes it. Got to keep her happy, and then somewhere along the line, I took the guard off and went wham, and I was like, oh well, here we go. So here it is. It's coming back yet. It'll be back. This up top though, it's never coming back, no matter what I want. Trimming leads to shaving. I know. I shouldn't have done that. Somebody's like, whoa, you got a haircut. I said, no. I got them all cut. Not just a hair. All of them. Did it myself. I have only myself to blame. Anyway, hope you guys are ready for Carpet Fest next weekend. I can't make it. For good reason. Yeah. I've had a long couple of days. So yeah, Carpet Fest is coming out. Gosh, sorry, I need more coffee. I'm having a rough one. I've just been kind of driving all over. Yeah, you guys better watch Travis Johnson of Living Legless. He's like Wookie beard, like beard. But some of you guys are holding stronger than me. Morning, Adam. Um, I would be remiss if I acted like that the events of the last couple days in my life didn't just happen. Um, and I won't go into details because it's somebody else's private life, but I just wanted to throw out there if any of you guys have friends or family or anybody who is struggling with like depression, suicide, anything like that, please like be there for them. Um, if there's somebody especially somebody from the military, we haven't talked to in a while, and you feel like call them up, hit them up. Make sure you keep in touch with those people because a very good friend of mine, my best friend from when we were like 3, had a bit of a rough couple days, and you know we almost lost him, and it could have been much worse, and it really puts things into perspective. Like I get to work with all these wonderful animals and snakes, and it's really easy for me to get caught up in my life here and doing the show and talking to you guys and going through that, and it's really easy for me, like, oh, I'll call them later, or I'll hang up and call them, or I'll just ignore the call and get back to it. But make sure you keep in touch with your friends. You might end up being that saving phone call. You don't know. So yeah, be there for people. Yeah, call people, especially if you've got you know war veterans that friends that have gone to war and deployed and come back. They need you more than you know. So make sure you keep in touch with those folks in your life if you have anyone. Because I could be somewhere else right now. I wasn't sure if this was going to happen. So fortunately, we got some resolution for the time being, and hopefully it doesn't happen again. And anyway, that was that. I didn't want to pretend like that didn't just happen. So what up, Justin? Yeah, Mr. Clean. For now, don't worry. From here on, the razor is only going to go up to there, just there, and maybe a little bit of this. That's it. And I never do a good mustache, so that's going to always be so. That'll happen. But I think we'll still be able to do Sundays for this, at least. Obviously, today we should be good to do one next week, but I might have more information between now and then to see what the schedule is. But I haven't officially started, but I signed the paperwork. I am back in zoos at the Sacramento Zoo, so I will be starting there hopefully in a week or so. Um, so if anybody knows anybody in zoos and how that works, nobody ever has Saturday, Sunday off. Occasionally you'll have Sunday, Monday off, or Friday, Saturday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, or something like that. So with that being said, regardless of whatever my schedule ends up going to, I'd like to still do this in some sort of regularity. So we'll see. Thanks, guys. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. It's good to be back. It'll literally be just about a year since I left Santa Barbara. So, Ron, I'm going to figure out exactly what the scheduling will be, but it's looking like, for the sake of ease of transition and what the zoo needs to have covered, I will probably start off going right into the herp department and the reptile house and get rocking on that, because I have 6 years of AZA reptile experience as it is. So it's like the easiest transition in with minimal training. So it'll just be kind of like getting familiar with the area and where they keep everything and their procedures, and then phasing into that and improving some stuff where I can. And then shortly after, there'll likely be some cross training over on the carnivore side of things. And so that could include some big cats and red pandas and a couple other things like that I'd be like geeked to work with. So it sounds like I'll get a little bit of a rainbow of species to work with over the coming years. So I'm really stoked. No more washing dirt. Sorry, not sorry. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate it. Having been away from it for a year is humbling. Never thought I would get back into it. Now I'm like really stoked that it's happening. So, yeah. What else? Who's raising temperatures up? It's February. That's usually my mark when I start bringing the temps back up. How's everyone's breeding going? I got a question for you guys. If anybody here is breeding egg-laying species, whether it be python or colubrid or obscurity, who is doing MI this year? I'm considering it. I've got a lot of options for animals that I could potentially MI, assuming that the animals I believe are gravid will produce good eggs. So, okay. Dan, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad people are still working with Antaresia, trying to put in work with those little dwarf ones. A friend of mine, Vil, he was at Pomona with some baby pygmy pythons that were smaller than like baby corn snakes, and they were 7 months old. He started feeding those things pinky mice tails. Just think about that for a second. That's absurd. It's a little python. So, yeah. So, Justin, I'm with you there. Like, I've never done MI. Brian, it's the right season for womas to be ovulating. From what I see, it seems to be the right time of year for some of those species. Good morning, Carly. Yeah, you should be seeing follicular swelling or ovulation kind of in this range. As even earlier, like sorry. Jacob Bratz has a clutch of eggs already. So he's got that going. I've got a female who gave me her prelay shed on the 24th. So we'll have eggs within 3 weeks here. Oh, okay, so the womas will wrap it. They don't thermoregulate. Good to know. Thank you, Carly. It's really awkward to see my chin. I haven't seen my chin and jaw in like 2 years. So, yeah, Robert, it's been raining like crazy. So Robert, just brought up a good point. Pairing during rain seasons, rainstorms, the pressure drops. It's perfect time for locking. I honestly have been seeing some as of a week ago, but I started my season a little bit earlier this year, and most of my females seem to be done. They just, I'm getting nothing but indifference and cuddling, and the females look thick. So, but I'm going through and I'm looking to see who, if anyone, would be a good candidate for maternal incubation, because that's kind of always discussed as one of the coolest experiences, to see mom doing her duty and what she would do in the wild and what she's biologically programmed to do, wrapping the eggs, shivering, maintaining temperatures in a happy range as she sees fit. That's pretty cool. But there's considerations, polar vortex stuff. Polar vortex. What are you talking about? Talking about snakes here. So yeah, I might do that with maybe one or two. I don't know. I'm like looking at who, but I don't know. It's like the hands-off method. So it's easy. You just let mom do it. But as you see time and time again, when people are bringing it up in chat, they're a little stressed and worried. Mom knows best. She'll move them where she wants. She'll get water when she wants. Sometimes they'll even eat. Yes, I did, Carly. Thank you. Yeah, I signed the papers the other day, so I'm going in tomorrow after work to figure things out as far as like scheduling and when I can start and all that stuff. So that'll be awesome. Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing you about different topics. Jesse, you think I am I? Yeah, so I have the reason why I'm not like sure which animals I would do MI is because there's certain, from everyone I talk to, there's certain like variables that you want to have kind of checked off. Let's say, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start an arbitrary checklist of things to go for during MI from somebody who's never done MI, because that's how experts are born, right? No, I'm just kidding. I will do my best to tell you what I think. If I'm going to do MI, what I would like to see based on what I've learned. You want a mature female who's got good weight to her. And can go another 2 months without food, because she's already gone a few months without food. And now she's going to do the job of maintaining those eggs. And if you've ever pulled a female off of eggs, they look horrible. They're empty. They just look exhausted. So you got to have a female that's conditioned. A lot of my females that are breeding this year are first-time animals, so something to think of. But I do have a jungle who's produced for me, and she could be a good candidate. Any advice on palpation of large snakes? My retic is so strong I can't feel anything but muscle. So I've never done it myself, Justin, but I've actually watched plenty of people palpate like apodora, retics, big berms, anacondas, things like that. And if you've got them in a cage and they're like moving forward into the back of the cage, I've seen people really just dig their fingers and using two hands to hold and get that, so they can keep their thumbs kind of dorsally on the spine and keep their hands underneath right where it needs to be in the ventral scales. You're really going to have to push. But what you need is your animal moving forward without being tense. So like just cruising forward on its own. You might have to take it out and work them for a few minutes to get some energy out. And then as you're putting them away, you plan to get that real good, that good straight grip. And you want to start like midsection, no later, because you could actually start too far down and miss them. So you're gonna have to really like get a good grip in there, because they're big, they've got a good sized belly, so their follicles are probably right up in here. So you've got to press in, probably an inch or two to really get in there. And if they're going to fight you, there's no way. They're just going to tense up. So you need them relaxed. You need them moving forward of their own volition. That's always a rule of thumb that I use with carpets, is they need to not be stressed, tense, and hanging. They need to feel supported and do that. If she's flexing on you, she's not calm and relaxed. So get her out on the floor, work her for 5-10 minutes or something like that, or handle her if she'll let you. You know your animal best, but like, you just don't want them tense trying to get away from you. You just want them kind of like cruising, like, oh, okay, this is where we're going, like that sort of attitude, like just relax so you can really do that. It always takes tons of practice, though. Justin Smith, yes, good point. So when doing MI, you should never assume that that your female is going to go the distance and maintain wrapping those eggs the whole time. So having an incubator on standby is always smart. Huh. Kevin's been doing this a long time, so I'm not surprised he's got something that creative, Ryan. Will be ball pythons in a year? Is it possible to damage the follicles? No, you won't damage the follicles. You'll either not press hard enough and you won't feel anything, or you'll feel it. What you don't want to do is palpate after they've had a prelay shed and go crazy and like rupture an egg. So yeah, it is possible, Carly. If you've got if you got a female that's had her pre-lay shed, she's got those follicles are now starting to develop a shell. So you do want to be careful, especially if they're like close to laying. Like if it's right after shed, you're safer. But yeah, um, right after that, you got to be delicate. Yeah, Tom, clean shaven, man. It's gross because I can see like my genetic Jemison double chin that like even the best shaped people in my family have. So, um, yeah. So backup plans when you're doing MI. I think I might try it with my jungle girl. She's big, but then I get 2 more months where I don't get to play with her. She's awesome. I'll think about it. She's a good eater. She's a big girl. So, but yeah, I mean, it's looking like, and I say I'll get eggs, but they could all be slugs. But it's looking like I'm gonna have quite a bit of 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 females laying, so I should have some good variety. But what that means is I need to go get more of these. So I don't have enough for 8 clutches of eggs, seven clutches of eggs. So the struggle is real. The Amazon Trebos have been breeding like crazy, but they produce later, so I've got time. But yeah, how's everyone else's? Uh, you want a jungle baby? Well, so here's the other thing about doing MI. Most people talk about um, the results as far as the clutch and the health of the babies, and because they tend to be incubated at a lower temperature that goes longer, they come out stronger, bigger, healthier, and more robust, and therefore tend to eat sooner, is the general consensus. Is a ruptured egg pretty much a death sentence, or do you think it would be possible to save the mom? I think it would be possible if you get that stuff out right away, but like that might require surgery unless it's the egg like at the end closest to the vent. I have heard of so it's not unheard of for a female to push out a whole clutch of eggs and have one left in there stuck for whatever reason, whether it be a twisted oviduct or it's like a calcified egg or just a weird shape or something. And then trying to palpate it out is a very scary thing because it can rupture and kill that female because of the eggshell and stuff being left in there. It really has to come out. So it's not like it's not one of those things where there's an easy home remedy. Like if that happens, you need to go to a vet. Oftentimes they'll inject a needle right in where the egg is aspirate some of the fluid out to make it smaller so they can pull it out. So that's one way that they'll do that, and sacrifice one egg versus the risk of life. I mean, it's a risky thing. Your female's in a serious situation if you're dealing with that. So yeah, there's not really an easy answer. Albino zebras. Yeah, those will be fun, Dan. You should go for that. That's a cool project. Put the stronger clutch by MI to the test. Yeah, I mean, Jesse, I'm sure it's been talked about plenty of times in a lot of the groups and things, and I've been involved in conversations about it. But yeah, most people who have done MI will say that rather than the eggs hatching around like day 55, they might go to like 65, but the babies pip on their own, they come out on their own. And because they've gone through that process rather than artificial, it seems to be more natural. Mom knows best. I don't know how it works out, but for whatever reason, they just seem to be healthier, more robust. But at the same time, I've always done artificial. So, do lower temperatures in carpet pythons affect the pattern on the animal? Yeah, Ryan, you can get weird pattern anomalies from incubation errors, like spikes in temperatures too high or too low, because the pattern that develops in embryos is like a latent stage thing. It tends to happen like towards the last 20% of development of the embryo. So when you have a baby developing in the egg, it'll be basically patternless up until, like the last couple weeks. So if you had one die and you would cut open into the egg and see it wouldn't look like it, a healthy baby that was fully developed would, because the pattern isn't in yet. And so occasionally you do hear of weird abnormalities like weird chimera sort of results where, like, especially with jags, where like half of the face is a jag or something like that, and the other half is a caramel, just a normal coastal, some sort of thing. Or so that, that can happen. I've never personally had it happen. The other thing that's really interesting to note, and I don't know if it's true across all species, but at least in carpet pythons, there's some sort of minor level of heritability in twins. So if your animal is a twin, it seems to be able to genetically pass it on in some small degree, which I'm really curious, because my male zebra was a twin and he's been breeding to a female zebra. So we'll see if I get any twins there, but kind of an interesting phenomenon to think of. So yeah. Did the stream die? Seems okay on my end. Am I crazy? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, the incubation time can do different things. What's also interesting, and it's mostly in like turtle species, but there's like eggs can go into a period of stasis where the development pauses as a result of like excessive rain. Like, I've read about turtle species that will nest on riverbanks when the water goes too high and the eggs are submerged. It doesn't actually drown the eggs, and they'll stay sort of like in pause mode for a while until it goes back, and then they'll start back up. I've read of that. I don't think that would work with pythons. Obviously, very different egg anatomy, but it's always interesting to think about that. We think about an egg as just an object creating a life in it, but the egg itself is a life doing things. We just don't think of it in the same way. But stream died on your side for a moment. Okay. Could be me. Could be the weather. It could also be that the Super Bowl's up. A lot of people on the internet today. Okay. We're at 27 minutes. Let's go Super Bowl here. What do you guys think? Or do you guys not care? You guys not care? We haven't even pulled out a snake. Let's pull out a snake. Rams. Wait, the Super Bowl. So, there we go. There's a true herper who doesn't give a damn. Why did everyone say congrats, Sierra Lewis? Oh, earlier in the chat? Zoo. Zoo. The only female that I don't think is taking this year is my super zebra head exanthic. Sierra, the congrats was because I'm starting out back in zoos again. They want the Rams to win. Oh yeah. This Super Bowl is so bad for me. I've never been a fan of the Patriots, and I'm a Niners fan, so the Rams are my division, so I can't ever root for them. No more dirt job. Yeah, hopefully I've just got a couple more days of that. So, yeah, Ryan, I have been too, man. I keep forgetting about the Super Bowl. It actually, after this, I need to later, Justin. Yeah, after this, I need to start reprogramming thermostats for the warm up. I'm bringing temperatures back up, so the night temps don't get as low, and we're starting to get those animals back up. And what I'll probably do is keep pairing animals over the next week or 2, 3, see how they respond to one another. And then, if I'm starting to get lack of interest, we'll see if we, offer some food and see if anybody wants to eat. Thermostats that I use, I have Quite a few vivarium electronics from Reptile Basics, and then I do have some herp stats. Everything that I have is all sort of like secondhand that I've gotten from people, but I have bought plenty of thermostats, and I love the VE products. The herp stats that I've purchased and or inherited with racks are fantastic products too. So I don't have a favorite between the two. I like them both. How are the Darwins doing, Jesse? They're good. I actually pulled the male out this morning. He's been in there for the last 3 weeks because every time I was going to go pull him to give him a break, they were locking up or cuddling. So she's looking thick. She's been spending a lot of time on the heat. She spent about a week or so over on the cool end and now won't leave the hide in the heat, which is new for her. So I can't tell if she's getting near a shed. If any of you have ever had albinos, when they're deep in shed, they do look kind of pasty and pastel-y and different, but like it's hard to pick up the early stages of them going into shed. So it's interesting. So we'll see. We'll see. That's a first-time mom and a first-time, well, no, first-time female and male. I'm not gonna hold my breath on that clutch. I hope we get something, but one thing that I haven't really thought of until now is I have heard some people, and not just in carpets, but just in general, even with ball pythons, when your male is a mouser, sometimes you'll get a lot of slugs and like fertility issues. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if anybody else has had that experience. I've heard it from a couple people firsthand with their ball pythons and a few other animals. That male, he's older than the female, but he's a strict mouser, at least for now. It's just the only thing he wants. The female will take tons of rats all day. So I don't know. That'll be interesting. We'll see. We'll see. You know, Jesse, a lot of times animals will switch food preference right after breeding season. So once we bring things back up, I do plan on offering him a rat to see what he does. We'll see. But, you know, I don't mind males being on mice if their production is not hindered. I guess we'll find out as time goes on if that's the case or not. It's a cheaper meal, and I can get a lot of them, and they're small. So keeping male smalls is efficient. What do you think about pairing one male to two females? Go for it, man. I think you just double the odds of being successful. There isn't one correct way to breed, you know. We sort of are in this system of you put the male in there and then you rotate them and put them there. But before we knew about all this stuff, how many people like were experimenting? We're like, well, I've got these 3 females. Let's put one male in there. I'm sure it's done. I'm sure it's still done to this day, and I'm sure it's successful. So if you've got a big cage where you can provide everybody ample enough access to warmth should they want it, like not one small hotspot that 4 animals are competing for, I think you could pull that off. If everybody's compatible, I would suggest watching them and keeping an eye on them. Yeah. They're pretty cool, man. Do I have any bredli hybrids in the future? No. Actually, that's a hard line for me, Ryan. I will never do a bredli hybrid. Nope. I think the Scream Jags and the bredli Jags and the Stonewash Jags are pretty. Keep them over there. That's just me. They are not even in the Spilota complex. They're Morelia bredli, not Morelia Spilota anything. So for whatever reason, that's a line that my brain will not cross. And over the years, I've come to realize the only time I'll cross that is with Jags. And guess what? I don't work with any Jags. So I guess that makes me kind of a purist, but well, actually, no, I take that back. I'm doing the Xanthic zebra and super zebra stuff. So I don't know. I'm not a purist or a mixer. I'm a both. I'm American. Red, if they're on the same schedule, that means they're liking your system of care. It's working. Consistency. Later, Adam. Hypo albinos. That would be pretty dope. See, Ryan, I can see other cross projects being cool, especially with the hypo gene coming over into the States. You know, it'll be really neat to see the potential with that, with like zebra stuff and who knows what else, you know. The hypo bredli as well as the hypo coastal. So who knows? There's a lot that has yet to be explored. So I think for now I'll let others go that route. Got enough going here for the time being. So, but yeah, I think I could have moon glows. Yeah, maybe one day I'll go for the snows and then add a layer onto that, and who knows? I gotta get the hypos first. If I were to ever get hypos, I would not cross them. I would just make hypo tigers, hypo coastals. That would just be amazing. One day, one day, maybe. So, all right. My coffee's almost gone. We've been here for over half an hour. You know, it's a Super Bowl day. I've actually got some cleaning that I still have to do. Gotta get to the gym later, Dan. Yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys on that. I know it was kind of last minute, last advertised, quick thrown together. Don't forget to go to the Southeast Carpet Fest Facebook page. They're at like 180 auction items now. More got added on, and they're trying to hit 24K because it looks like they're gonna kill that 20,000 marker that they set for themselves. It's still active. If you want to win any of the stuff in the auction, but you can't make it, you got to be serious bidding on there. Go get on there and go win some dope stuff. Because, I mean, there's literally everything you can think of and then some. Seriously, go check it out. Cool stuff. And I'm bidding on some things that I shouldn't be, but I am. So if you want to outbid me, save me some money, go for it. You keep getting sniped on bids. You know, I keep bidding on things and then everyone doesn't touch it. So it's like, ugh, I should just know better than to not get myself involved. So, but anyway, those things are always fun and people at the event end up killing it and winning it all. So don't miss out. Go get some cool stuff. And I will keep you guys posted. Assume that next Sunday is a go as far as doing another one of these. But from then on, I'll just have to keep you guys posted because it sounds like my schedule might be rather volatile. So we'll keep it going. Look for Morelli Mondays tomorrow because I put a lot of effort into not getting bit and eaten and destroying my room filming that one. It might seem like it was all mild-mannered like the rest of them, but the animal in tomorrow's Morelli Mondays is like one of my least cooperative and friendly. So you're welcome. All right, everyone, have a good one. Go bid up in Carpet Fest. Go watch the Super Bowl. Don't drink and drive. Be safe. Call your veteran buddies. Make sure you're talking to people and staying in touch with your friends. And hops and hognose. Oh, speaking of which, one of my import males might actually be a female, Ryan. So I'm instead of having 2.1, I might have 1.2. So we'll see. They don't like me though. They keep peeing all over the place and trying to bite me. So I'll have to actually probe, but looking good. Anyway, love, peace, and chicken grease. Be smart, be safe. Until next time.